Okay guys, here we are in a vintage daily event and we're in round 3 and our opponent is oufanforever0212. Okay, obviously we don't know what our opponent is playing. And I think this is a pretty reasonable hand. We've got good mana and a workshop, we've got disruption in wasteland and a sol ring to float us into one of our creatures should we draw one. And duplicate as a dual. So we're going to keep this. Opponent keeps his hand as well. And he is, of course, on the play. Okay, so this looks like we're playing against Storm here, is my guess. And if we get to a turn to play, that'll be pretty good for us. Oh, Oath of Druids. Oh, wow. Okay. I did not expect to see an Oath of Druids here. That is not terrible for us. Let's see here. What can we do? Like, we don't really want to lead out with Lodestone Golem because that triggers his Oath of Druids. And if he gets... Okay, so we're going to lead out with let's make sure. I mean, do we want to lead out with a Lodestone Golem? No, we're not now because we clicked on our Thorn. You know, if we're assured to have a duplicate, like if our opponent doesn't do anything here, then I feel better about things, but because if he misses a land drop here, for instance, we could play the Lodestone and then follow that up with a duplicate. And if for some reason we're unable to do that, then what I fear here, I guess, in this situation is if he hits a Grizzlebrand. If he's got a Grizzlebrand, we're in a lot of trouble. But our Tangle Wires could wrap him down here pretty good. But of course, Grizzlebrand is going to allow him to draw cards and find counter magic. And I mean, we have the one duplicate main deck as a real disruptor. Yeah, and I feel like Tangle Wire is pretty good here. If he misses a land, Tangle Wire is pretty good. It's actually better than pretty good. It's really good. Another problem here could be Dragon's Breath as well. So our opponent's thinking here about what he wants to do. Really, we want to keep him off of Forbidden Orchard. If he has an Orchard, that is going to force our hand for sure. But this is also a matchup where we can't really sit back. Okay, so he's got an Academy. An Academy's decent. Okay, Lion's Eye Diamond. Interesting. What's he doing with an LED in there? Well, he's kind of made our Tangle Wires look a lot worse here. Maybe we're playing a Storm Oath build here. And if that's the case, he's probably only running, well, he's probably just running Grizzlebrand, and Grizzlebrand is definitely troublesome for us. But usually they only have one creature, and if that's the case, we might get a crack at just removing it. Okay. So, I mean, if we waste land, it's not great, because we... but we don't really want to play a Lodestone Golem here. That's the thing. Do we Tangle Wire him? I think we Tangle Wire here. Actually, I'm going to play out my land first in case I get spell pierced. Okay, I think this is fine. I mean, it shuts us down for a turn as well. But being able to tap him down here is pretty good. And if we actually can get another land here, I think we can make our move. Because putting him under a lodestone golem, he's still tapping down. And we can kill his academy, which is significant. It won't be this turn likely, but perhaps next. Really want to draw land here. Okay, so we did get a land. I think we just got to take his academy here. I think that is correct. And I'm going to cast a Trinisphere here, I think. And then next turn, or do we just go for a lodestone here? Maybe we do. Maybe we just go for a lodestone here. I think we do. And try and hedge our bets. You know, this is an awkward situation. We just kind of have to go for it at some point. We're not going to be able to beat him otherwise. So hopefully we tap down all his mana sources here. Hopefully he misses on his mana. Of course, he's probably going to hit a Grizzlebrand here, and hopefully he doesn't have a Dragon's Breath, because Dragon's Breath is pretty bad for us. But we got a pretty good chance here. Okay, so we hit Grizzy Pops, which is a good card. And he's probably going to draw 7. That doesn't do anything. I think the big question here is does he have more than Grizzlebrand in his deck? Okay. Well, that was a really good draw for us, okay, because he cannot actually force of will us here, so we are going to be able to this produces 4 mana for us. Okay, how can we do this here to get optimal effect? Because a Trinisphere, if we can get a Trinisphere down here as well, is very, very solid, which I think we can. 3, 4, 5. I really don't want to use my Wasteland here because I get far more efficiency out of it. But Tangle Wire is also very good. So if I cast a... This is going to cost me 4 mana. That will leave me 1 floating, and I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, which does work. And that leaves me a Wasteland. Yeah. So the question is, do we want Tangle Wire here, or do we want Trinisphere? I think we just want Tangle Wire. I really do. Where the problem lies here is if he has another creature. Am I doing this correctly? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Okay, this will be 5 artifacts that I would have on the table here. This is going to cost me 3, 4. Will leave me 1 floating. 6. It does work. Okay. should be enough. Duplicate is... Hopefully he just has Grizzlebrand here. And we actually don't even need to wasteland here because we've got him under 6, so I just leave my land alone. That was unnecessary to do that. Okay, so he's drawing 7 cards. And if he does have another creature, let's hope he just drew it. Maybe he's digging for... Oh, he's digging for a force, but what he doesn't realize is he can't cast a Force of Will here. I've got a Sphere of Resistance out and a Lodestone, so he's almost just killed himself here. As a matter of fact, I do think he's killed himself, but yeah. So we'll take that. We've got a Duplicant, we've got a Hellkite, we've got a Winter Orb, and we've got 4 Grafdigger's Cages, all of which are very good against Oath, particularly everything minus the Hellkite. And Hellkite is a card that is able to remove an Oath of Druids. So the question is, what do we want to remove here? I do like Sundering Titan. I'm not sure how good it is against Oath of Druids, but it is a big guy. Chalice of the Void, I'm going to take these out. He's probably going to have a moderate amount of artifact removal, but hopefully we can tide him down with our spheres. And Tangle Wire I do like. Wormcoil Engine is not at its best in this matchup. Staff of Nin is mediocre, but it is a way I can kill him, and I can remove tokens with it, so I am going to keep it. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure what we want to take out next. Maybe we don't want the double Hellkite here. Maybe we don't want... oh, there, the Hellkite's not even in the board. I do like my spheres. I do like my Metamorphs. They target duplicates. Difficult decision here. I really like every single card in my deck here. I mean, maybe I can take out a Mana Vault, but Mana Vault is reasonable ramp into some of my big guys. Trinosphere is pretty good. It's probably not as good as on the play, but okay. Yeah, just take it with Sundering Titan. Okay, let's see if we can get this done here. This is reasonable. Obviously, we don't have Grafdigger's Cage, but we do have double Wasteland, and we can get a Sphere of Resistance into play, which is pretty good. Where this really is really bad is if he gets a turn 1 Oath and he's got a Forbidden Orchard. But at least we have the Metamorph, which gives us a chance at being able to stop the Oath of Druids or his Grizzlebrand. Let's hope that's not the case. And he seems to be taking his time with his hands, so hopefully this is leading to a mulligan. But we're keeping a hand with no hate, and that is not always the wisest thing to do against Oath of Druids. It's much not the same severity as Dredge, but you know, sometimes when you're playing against Oath, you definitely want to have a Grafdigger's Cage in your hand. But we'll roll the dice here and we'll see. I don't think this is terrible. And yeah, so Sol Ring's a good one for sure because it gets over our sphere. But I am going to Wasteland him here. My hope is that he does not have another colored source. He did mulligan, and sometimes these guys cheat a bit. I'll hold the Mox here. I don't see a reason to get it out. And if that's the case, then we've got a, if he's got no land here, it's reasonable. So he's got a Mana Confluence. Okay, Time Walk. It's a good one. All right, well, let's hope he just has no play here. I find the Lion's Eye Diamonds interesting in this. I'm wondering if it actually is a Storm build. Otherwise, I don't see a whole lot of reason to play it, but so my opponent's thinking pretty hard about what he wants to do here. Not sure what that means. I would presume he has a play. Hopefully it's not a Tinker. I mean, even if it is a Tinker, we still have an out in Phyrexian Metamorph. Perhaps it's Yawgmoth's Will, who crack his LED and play Time Walk and Gemstone. Which doesn't seem that good to me, but it's not terrible either. Okay, so he does have an Oath here. Okay. So we are, I mean, cast a Mox here. Now, we do have a Mishra's Factory here. And I think Mishra's Factory is pretty reasonable to start beating down. We could play a Sphere of Resistance right here, and of course he's not too worried about spheres, but I mean, the other option is maybe I do just Wasteland as Mana Confluence here. Yeah, maybe I just do that. I mean, the reality is, if he's got a Forbidden Orchard, I can't stop it anyways. So let's do that. And we'll just play a Mana Vault here. And reality is, I really don't even need the Vault. I'll just get the Sphere of Resistance out in case there is a Storm facet to this deck. And yeah, we'll plunk ourselves for a few damage. And Mishra's Factory can hopefully get it done for us. Not really what we want to draw, but that's okay. Okay, we'll pass turn, right back. Okay, so we're playing draw and go here. He still doesn't have a land, which is good news for us. Nope, would have loved a piece of hate there. Particularly what I'm looking for here is Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage is going to be really, really good for us if we can ever get there. So I think I just play Tellurian Academy here. The reason I'm doing that is in the event we see something like Energy Flux or something like that. Okay, let's hope our opponent just keeps bricking infinitely. One, two, three. I will take one more damage. Get a, hopefully draw an artifact here. Okay, Trinosphere is really good. Quite happy to draw that. And this is going to make it very difficult on him too. Okay, so he does have a force of will here. It's going to say that will make it very difficult on my opponent. I mean, I'm very tempted here. I won't lie to you to metamorph my Mishra's Factory here. Perhaps that was the right play, and just put pressuring him that way. Where it's not good is if he does get a Forbidden Orchard, and then we're just kind of cooked. Okay, that's just fine. I'm not worried about that card. Once again, I'm really not worried about the damage here. That was a good draw. The question is, does he have another force of will? And I would venture to say no. Let's see if we can get a clean attack in here. Yes, I'm giving up a damage by not doing it now, but I want to make sure that my creature does not get killed. Which is probably just wrong. Okay, let's see if we get this through here. Okay, let's hope. We're kind of all in now. Okay. So I may as well pay it. Okay, we're really bricking though on the on drawing business spells here. I mean, we're just drawing lands, which is not ideal. But as long as our opponent's not doing much, we're okay. Nope, got a mana source. Not happy about that. Colored mana source. Let's try and get a wasteland here, or a business spell. Oh, that's a business spell if I've ever seen one. Okay, so let's attack in here. Actually, how many mana do we actually have here? I mean, getting this into play is just massive. I'm totally willing to lose a land here to do this. Let's plunk ourselves for 2 damage. That may not be correct, taking the damage there. I mean, getting Grizzlebrand into play is pretty bad for us, but let's see if he hits us here with some type of spell. And having to use his Ancient Tomb if he does is not good for him. I mean, we just got to go for it here, right? Now, if this lands, almost assuredly we're going to win. Now, having said that, he may have a Hurkyl's Recall here. I mean, I don't know. I hope to God he doesn't, because it sends back our factories. It may have been smarter to just not activate both. But because he could cast a Hurkyl's Recall. Well, actually, for him to cast a Hurkyl's Recall here, he would have to tap his tomb, and he just dies. Because I can hit him with my Staff and in here. Okay, guys, so off to the finals.